Welcome, Kinders, it's Jessica. I've been noticing a lot of people around me lately feeling exhausted and talking a lot about burnout. The people that I'm seeing with this are the people who are trying to do everything right. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get earlier nights. I'm trying to kind of keep my boundaries and say no, trying wellness routines, all of the stuff that is supposed to help. And yet there's just this like hum in the background that something is just not quite right. If this is you, your energy is probably feeling low and your creativity may feel distant, like you just can't quite get a grasp on yourself, like you've lost that spark. I want you to know that you're not lazy. That is one of the things that people can feel a lot. It's like, why can't I just, especially when we're getting into our 40s, into our 50s, like I just can't seem to make myself do these things anymore. It's not laziness and you're not broken. And there is a very real reason why you're feeling this way. And in this video, I want to explore that reason, reveal, like the depths of that, and also suggest some ways in which you can fix it, because you can. You're not broken. It's just a disconnect from that part of you that knows, that inner compass, that sense of this is who I am and this is where I'm meant to be. Let's be real, burnout, it is a real thing. And more of us, I've noticed, especially since like the pandemic, since 2020, I'm seeing so many more people saying, I can't go on anymore like this. We live in this world that glorifies productivity, and just getting all the stuff done and being able to be like a superwoman and be able to handle everything that gets thrown at us. But it never really teaches us how to kind of pause meaningfully. Like we hear all the time, like you need to rest, you need to set boundaries, all that stuff, like I said. But even when we try and do that, the things that we are doing to try to reset ourselves, to recalibrate, they just don't work. And some of those things are the things, like we've heard it all before, like we're not supposed to do this, like kind of like binging Netflix or scrolling social media, things like that. But the reason that we do those things is because we're feeling a disconnection and we're looking, like we're actively trying to find ways that will bring us back into that connection with ourselves, something that will inspire us, something will light up that spark. But unfortunately, instead of doing that, a lot of what these sort of activities do actually pull us even further away from ourselves. We can start kind of comparing ourselves with other people. We can start just like getting into a doom spiral, as my teenage daughter calls it. While we think we're recharging, we're actually just pulling ourselves further and further away, further out of that feeling that we are looking for. And the big part of the problem is that we don't even know what that feeling is. Like, what is it that's missing? That's the problem, because like, how are you supposed to find something if you don't even know what it is that you're looking for? And that's what I want to go into in this video, because I feel like I do know through trial and error, through my own my own trial and error over many years. I've realized that what it is that I am seeking is different from the sort of places that I was going to try and fix it previously. So I don't want to take away from anyone's experiences of burnout, but I know for me personally, when I was feeling that over, like a few years ago now, that's how I would have labeled what it was that I was feeling. And, I was trying to do all the right things. Like I said, like sort of get more rest, meditate, do all of the stuff, but nothing was really working. What I eventually realized is that I wasn't burned out from doing too much. I was actually burned out because the things that I was choosing to do were not in alignment with who I am and how I'm supposed to be showing up in the world, the truth of this world, the truth of the big connection that is available to us in this world. I basically was exhausted from doing too much that wasn't part of the rhythm of me and why I'm here. And perhaps that is the same for you too. That moment changed everything for me, and I've started to find practices, and some of them are, it's so annoying sometimes because some of the practices that are like the things that are suggested are the things that are helped, but it's kind of like the approach, the way that I was going about those things was coming from a radically different place than where I was just, just like a couple of years previous. The shift was letting myself, my body, be in the season and cycle that I'm in. And I know that's you, like maybe you've already like I've heard this before, Jessica, what you're talking about. I know that this is the case. But like what I find is that people say, yeah, I know, I've heard it, I've tried this, I go out for a walk, this kind of thing. But actually, it's really hard to live in this world, which is so like noisy and so like on all the time, and actually be able to drop into that sense of rhythm with the seasons, with the cycles, with the moon. And while we might know that that would be helpful for us, a lot of us don't even know like well, how how do I even do that? And the reality is slowly, slowly and surely. And what I found, there were three main practices that really helped to crystallize this for me. And what also helped was like focusing just on those three things and putting the rest of the stuff to one side while I was recalibrating. And now, like, I find that I've got so much more energy and I feel connected and I'm living in alignment with my purpose. I can start to bring those other things back in. But, like, in that moment of feeling that burnout, that full disconnection, it didn't feel like there was anything else available to me. And perhaps that's how you're feeling as well. So, the first thing, which is going to be no surprise to you if you've been here before, is journaling with the cycles of the moon. So not bullet journaling as a productivity system. It's like, I need to get more done. If only I just write everything down, I'll be able to do all of the things. Because the truth is, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, especially if you are already in burnout, especially if you are neurodivergent. It just does not work. It doesn't work for us. And so instead, stepping into a cyclical process, instead of planning with the months and getting all those tasks written down and make sure you're migrating everything and putting everything on, it's like, I'm going to do all this week. Instead of doing that, working with the cycles of the moon and just choosing one thing for an entire moon cycle. And like, you're probably thinking, but I can't do that because my life will just fall apart. And I hear you, it is. And that's why it's like this advice that we hear about kind of simplifying things and stripping things back. This is why so many of us don't follow it, because it just feels impossible, because it's like, how am I going to just function in my normal life? So this is what I propose. There are certain tasks that we need to do in our lives that are kind of like the ongoing tasks that we need to just get in place and keep doing those, every month, every week, sometimes every day, in order to function. Like, we have those daily things, like kind of like brushing our teeth, getting dressed, going out, all that kind of stuff. And then we have things that are like on a more spread out cycle, like, I don't know, like cooking meals or meal shopping, that kind of stuff. Those kind of like mundane tasks that can take up so much time and leave you just feeling like there's no time for any kind of spiritual development or any kind of anything else apart from just doing those bare minimum things. What I suggest doing is making a list of those bare minimum things, maybe like for a month timescale or whatever kind of sits for you with that. And then see how many of those things you can actually like axe off your list, because sometimes or space out a little bit more, like, I know sometimes people are like, right, well, I clean my bathroom twice a week or something like that. And this might seem very like granular and mundane, but if you could maybe just do it once a week, or perhaps, like leave a sponge and something in the bathroom so you can just give it like a quick wipe over now and again, and then only properly clean it like once a month. There's so many things that we are doing that are robbing us of our energy to do the things that give us energy. that's the shift. That is the big pivot that we need to make if we want to start living in alignment, living in connection with our purpose. We need to stop doing those things that, or like I said, space out, postpone as long as possible those things that are robbing us of our energy, and instead do those things that are spicing us, that are motivating us. And when I say I choose one thing for a moon cycle, I mean I choose one of those alignment goals for my moon cycle to work on. So that is like kind of the first thing. And then the second thing is to align yourself with the larger cycle of the sun as well. So like depending on where you live, this is going to look very different. For me in Wales, it looks like 4 seasons, more or less. We do get like a spring, summer, autumn, winter. And I do find that my internal rhythm does mirror that of my external seasons. But where you are may be different. So it's a personal, I can't say to you, right, you must like get up with the sunrise and go to bed with sunset, even though humans have done that for a long part of our history. And I really do think that's really helpful in recalibrating our nervous systems, our internal rhythms, our circadian rhythms. It's not practical for lots of us, especially like when we get right into the summer months here in Wales. I'd have to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, which I'm not going to do. But what I do try and do is when I get up, and if it's a sunny day, I try to get outside as soon as possible. To be honest, I try to get outside as soon as possible, whatever the day is like. I want to get my feet on the ground. I want to get like the sun on my face. I want to feel the day, like get a sense of the day and what it is. And when you do that over a prolonged period of time, it roots you back into that place where you live. And another thing that I like to do that's connected with that is I like to walk the same paths pretty much every day. I do have a dog, so that does help with, kind of keeping me accountable to doing that. But I like to go, there's a few different paths that I do. So over the course of the week, I will revisit them, and I walk those throughout the year. Whatever the weather is like, I go there. And when you do that, rather than kind of going to like different novel places all the time, you start to get a real sense of place and rooting in that place, which allows that the way that humans are supposed to live, we're supposed to live in connection with the place that we live. We're supposed to eat foods that grow in the place that we live. We're supposed to, receive the light and the temperature of the place where we live so that we feel rooted. And there's no surprise that so many of us feel disconnected when we are kind of, under unnatural lights for so much of the day. Like sometimes in the winter, it's really hard to even like be out in daylight at all if we're working, like a 9 to 5 kind of job. So I appreciate like the ideal is getting up at sunrise, going to bed at sunset, being outside as much as possible, being feet on the ground as much as possible, being amongst like trees and rocks and that kind of stuff as much as possible. But that as much as possible is the important part, because I know like practically for so many of us, that is a huge shift from where we are at the moment. But just do something, move more towards that, take a step towards that. And I know it's a cliche, like it almost feels like, why am I even saying this? Because we've heard it all before. We're supposed to be in connection more. And it's almost like an eye roll. But the annoying thing about it is that it actually works. It's true. If we get outside and root ourselves, align ourselves with where we are, see where the sun is on the horizon, you'll start to get a feel for what time of day it is. You can see, if you're out in the evening, you will see the moon, and in the day, at different parts of the cycle, and you'll get a sense of where you'll orient yourself. That's what having an inner compass, that's what it's all about, is being oriented in the place where we are. So that is the second point. And then the third point is connection with the divine. So for me, that is mainly goddess connection. I am passionate about reclaiming the divine feminine from this like few thousand years of patriarchy and Abrahamic religion, where it's like Father God all the time to us. But it doesn't matter really. Well, I suppose it does. But who you like, how or how, whatever you call that divine connection, that is, like whatever you call that, having the thread of that, being able to kind of hold on to that, is the third piece of the puzzle for realignment and moving away from disconnection and burnout and moving into that sense of, this is who I am, this is what I'm here to do. And I love to work with specific goddesses, like named goddesses, personified goddesses, but I also work with goddess or even source as a concept as well. And since, like, that has been something that I've been lucky has been a guiding light for me through my life. And I really believe that that is what it is that has helped bring me back to those other things, to the moon journaling, to the being in nature. And those three things, when we bring them together, the journaling with the moon, the being present in that place where you are, and having that divine connection, when we bring those things together, it's like the magic recipe for reigniting ourselves. It's like we wake ourselves up when we do this, because we realize where we realize when we are, and we see ourselves in that divine light and realize also who we are. And then it's just one small step from there then to be like, when this is what I'm here to do. So I provide lots of resources here on my channel if you want to do that, if you want to live more aligned. You can follow those 3 steps. You can strip them back if you want to and just take like small steps, like I said. I do also have the Moonwise membership where I guide people through the journaling process. So I guide people through each of the moon phases, each of the moon cycles, with journaling prompts and things to go deeper. So, if you're ready to kind of more deeply step onto the path, then that could be for you. But like I said, there's also lots of free resources available here. And I do have a newsletter that I send out every Monday. It's called Moonday Magic Mail, and it has an overview of the energies for the week, so that you can plug yourself into those energies. And it also has then like practical suggestions and journal prompts, which you can use for like actual journaling, or you could use them for tarot divination prompts if you want to guide your personal steps with those energies. And I included Goddess message there, which is a channeled message from Goddess, which people really love, in that Moonday Magic Mail as well. And that's completely free. So if you feel like you want to live a life that is more connected and aligned, and you've been thinking, yeah, but how do I do that, because everything that I'm trying just doesn't seem to be working, then I hope that something that I've shared here sparks something in you, and you now feel like you have what you need to just take that next step forward. So let me know if that landed for you. I'd love to know. I feel like I kind of went a little bit all here, there, and everywhere, but I just felt like I couldn't not say what this, put a name to this, because I am seeing so much burnout, and it really is from misaligned activity, and like too much misaligned activity, and not enough of those simple things that bring us back into alignment, into center with ourselves. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for being here. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.